Dire Team ban. Alliances turn to ban. Dire Team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Crystal Maiden.
Alliances turn to pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Clockwork!
Skywrath Mage.
Dire Team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
All right, welcome back. Gentlemen, boys and girls,
5
here we
seconds
go. Game number
remaining.
2 coming at you. Alliance versus Vega Squadron. Alliance up game to nothing here.
Reserve
Best
time.
of 3. I'm Freaky CPK, joined by Tsunami. Again, we got the Summit 7 European qualifiers. On to the playoffs. The loser gonna be going down to the losers bracket. Forward to seeing shapes up here. And we got a Skywrath Mage. Another kind of Alliance, somewhat signature hero. I know Hanskin actually plays this a fair amount as well. So, it was somewhat unique.
Alliances turn to
Yeah,
ban.
they've been running this hero occasionally, again to mixed success, but it's definitely, like, I have to continually give props to Alliance for the fact that they are pursuing heroes that no other team seems to care about for various reasons, and
10
Vega Squadron may
seconds
prove
remaining.
why, as they go in for a Lifestealer, a hero that definitely does not care about a large
5
majority of
seconds
Skywrath
remaining.
and what he has to offer, but that also comes down to initiation. Sometimes if Clockwork can manage to get like a good hook shot and then Skywrath follows up with the silence, then all of a sudden Cogs becomes a kill box with the Mystic Flare. But, whenever I see off-meta heroes, I have to put more effort into justifying it because they're off-meta for a reason, because
Dire
they
Team
just
ban.
are not able to, find the same
Alliances
advantages that you
turn
need
to
in
ban.
how the game plays out or how popular heroes are playing out. But yeah, Alliance take it early on. It's a hero that has some risks taking early on because you do get heroes like Lifestealer who are spell immune, or you get a lot of heroes that, don't care about being silenced, or heroes that
remaining.
have like magic resistance. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Vega Squadron
5
pick up a
seconds
Rubik or something like
remaining.
that. I don't know if they enjoy playing Rubik, but there's a lot of options whenever you see a
Reserve
Skywrath come out.
Yeah, you already talked about with the Lifestealer kind of in response of sorts. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alliance kind of flows from here with their draft. But the other side of it too, not that they want to lose by any means, but they do have that kind of that way now
Dire
being up
Team
window.
ban.
Best of 3, but we got 4th ban to come for Vega Squadron, and then into the next tier of picks, we have a our Abaddon come Alliance to go with the Treant and Terrorblade initially. Agnes, Io, Shadow Fiend.
10
And now we'll
seconds
see
remaining.
what that 4th one is. I know TA was a ban last time.
5
Actually,
seconds remaining.
Just like so many players lately. I mean, I feel like TA was one of the most explosive heroes.
Alliances
Kiev made.
turn to pick.
How well he did in so many different hands.
Yeah, no one VP was definitely putting a clinic on, though, for the most part. And of the heroes that people are theorizing that get nerfed in 7.06, I know that
10
TA is
seconds
definitely
remaining.
high on people's lists, but until then, you just need
5
to
seconds
either
remaining.
figure out a way to deal with it or just ban it out. And it looks like Alliance don't really care too much to do anything about it. And TA is one of the heroes that also can do well against Skywrath mid, because Skywrath usually likes having to help out his mid lane by just dumping a bunch of Mystic Flares on the enemy mid and securing a lot of early damage and forcing the enemy mid to burn through early regen. But if you have Refraction, then you can just pop that before Mystic Flare. Skywrath burns through all of his mana, and you're pretty much unaffected for the most part as a Templar.
Extra time, so I've been into that quite a bit. I want to match up now with
Ursa Warrior.
Ursa.
Dire team pick.
Here, so Loda Ursa, not one I feel like we've seen Loda play a lot.
Yeah. I guess because Troll was banned out and they want one of the traditional counters to Lifestealer, so if you can't get Troll, might as well go for Ursa, I suppose. And Ursa, definitely one of the heroes that everyone has considered to be the go-to against Lifestealer, and with good reason. But you kind of need someone to enable Ursa to pull that off, and while Clockwork is kind of good, the problem is that Cogs will kind of keep Ursa out, but that's pre-Blink Dagger. After Ursa completes a Blink Dagger, then Lifestealer is free food inside of a Cog. But Vega Squadron go for a Kanka, another hero that isn't seen too frequently, especially in the Western scene. More typically favored in Eastern Dota, but
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you know, I was actually thinking something along the lines of the Earth Spirit. We saw the ban last game, and Seamine is a great one, but I go the Kanka as you talked about. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out against this lineup. Maybe, I don't know, I was trying to think of some ideas with it, but I don't know, the X marks the spot, as usual, can come into play, and of course that ship is a valuable tool. They do have the freeze to set up an easy torrent combo, so that there are things here that kind of make your traditional 4 position, at least that's what we expect it's going to be. I guess a mid Kanka isn't 100%.
that would lose my mind if it's a mid Kanka. That would be amazing. I haven't seen a damage dealing Kanka in a long time, and with good reason. The hero is not really... that's not his strength anymore. But yeah, I mean, like, Earth Spirit was one possibility. The other thing I'm thinking is, like, what is Kanka offering that, say, a Monkey King wouldn't be offering? It is, like, you know, typically you think about the X-Torrent setup, but nothing that Vega Squadron has picked yet, and Templar Assassin doesn't really follow up with any potential X-Torrent combos, but TA's, picking TA into an Enigma, actually, is surprising.
Why is that?
Well, you've got to deal with all the, you know, Midnight Pulse basically just, like, obliterates your refraction, and there's no, like, Midnight Pulse is massive. There's no way you can't be in it in a team fight, and, you know, TA is great against Ursa because most of the time you're be able to refract, and Fury Swipes will still add up, but at least you won't be taking damage initially during the refraction. I don't know, this TA, I mean, like, it seems like the justification that I gave earlier that against Skywrath you're pretty safe, but mid to late game, this TA is going to have like a real hell of a time, because even Clockwork initiation is an issue, because Clockwork, Hookshot, Cogs, and then Blade Mail, and TA will just like kill herself pretty much, and so she'll be comfortable mid, but after the laning phase, she's going to have a tough time, I imagine. But if they get good setups with these Kunkka X-Torrents and Mad Rider, then, you know, maybe team fights won't even be that much of an issue. Don't fight Enigma where he's strongest, fight him where he's weakest, which is in 1v1 engagements or gank attempts and stuff like that.
Like LC could, I know that means Clockwork could probably be more of a 4 position, but LC, they'll purge against Bat Rider, could ideally be strong and just have
5 seconds remaining.
offlaner as well, but 4 position is what you think they're going to go for. Whoa!
Wait, mid Skywrath?
So it is going to be a...
Oh no, mid Ursa. Okay.
So they're just kind of swapping that around. Okay, and I'm gonna... Wow, why did I think... Okay, the middle, that makes... For some reason. So yeah, it's going to be a mid Ursa instead. Okay.
Okay.
So
then...
it is going to be a support Clockwork, though. So I guess that's kind of the other thing that was... Alright, so Enigma...
Yeah, because I was imagining that Enigma was going to be in the jungle, and it was going to be like a off-lane Clockwork, which I guess wouldn't really have any potential for mid Skywrath. Damn, I had it in the back of my head, and I was like, dude, what if they do it? That would be amazing. But no, they're not going to. They're going to send Limp instead.
We've seen Enigma much more in the off lane, to be fair, as well. Yeah,
That's
when
true.
it has been picked up lately, so that makes a lot more sense for some.
5 seconds remaining.
Wires crossed.
Well, Sark,
But-
is a good hero against Batrider, though.
Yeah, definitely. And the whole Alliance draft is like all their heroes are good at dealing with each of Vega Squadron's individual heroes because, Frostbite going to be pretty much ineffective against Slark and Ursa because Ursa can enrage it off, Slark can Dark Pact it off, and the Batrider will also have issues finding heroes to go on, especially if Ursa does go for an Aghanim Scepter, which isn't guaranteed, but sometimes if you are against a Batrider, then you consider it to be a little bit more of a priority. And I guess there isn't really that much else worth purging off, but yeah, I'm interested to see how effective the Skywrath is, because mid lane, you can force the TA to have to waste a bunch of mana on Refraction for defensive purposes, but she keeps her damage buff even after the shield wears off, so I'm curious to see how EGM will be spending his time mid, or just in general.
Gets up here ASAP. Down to block. He's already rotating over to the middle lane as another place. Information as to what they're planning to do. He's gonna expose the smoke right here. Up. And he'll just walk it off. If anything else, it might make them think that he placed a ward in that area. I wonder, that's where the mind games kind of come into play. Maybe scout out where this is. Kunkka did have the center. The other spot. Somehow pick up on that. Wait for the
30
30-second
seconds to
mark.
battle.
Enigma. The offlane, he's boots first. I know, seen some Enigmas, we've seen some get the Blightstone even, or the Talon, or...
Yeah, so he's definitely planning on staying in the lane. Crystal Maiden is not the best at contesting the jungle, so it is a little bit surprising to me that he's not going exclusive jungle, because chances are he'll be able to farm faster. Oh, Torrent. Oh man, Kunkka successfully steals that rune. Huh. Alright, well Kunkka pick is obviously, I'm already confident in it.
Right there, well played. Come up. And where?
He's chilling. He's gonna shrine up, let his Eidolons deal some damage on this first camp. So maybe we'll hit level 2 and then start moving around, but still, like even then, you would probably go for the Blightstone first, or the Iron Talon, but yeah, we'll see. We'll keep my eye on Jonas and Finn.
Middle matchup is Ursa versus TA, and it seems like Ursa is fairly decent in this. Potentially, at least, if it's 1v1 of it. Probably not going to be the case. Kunkka's doing a lot of roaming.
I'd get the Courier. He has boots, and no one really expects a Kunkka to snipe things out, but then he shows himself. He's gonna just straight invade Enigma's jungle. He discovered that Enigma wasn't in the secondary jungle, sees what's going on now, and Enigma doesn't want to have to really lose these Eidolons, so he's just gonna continue attacking. Maybe we'll wait to kill a creep,
Radiant's top
but
tower is
Sioma's
under
kind of
attack.
dancing around here. Oh my god, does he know where the Courier is?
Trying to get it, man. He's taking some tower damage now, though, and could be in some trouble. Back up, you'll see Huntspeed coming up. Torrent!
Alright, they had this ward, so he probably saw it loop in, didn't see it emerge out of the trees, and was like, I'm gonna go for this. Doesn't work out. Sioma still 0 points of experience.
Bottom lane, first blood potential right here. Dark Pact is ready. Afterlife just trying to cut through the trees. No Firefly. He had a still level 1 going for the TP. It's not going to be enough, though. First blood in favor of VGM on that Sky. Arcane Bolt finished the job.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, Batrider actually opted for early Windlace instead of a stick. Most likely was not expecting this Arcane Bolt harass from EGM this early on. And like similarly, I was expecting it more on the TA, but they get the kill, successful first blood, and it goes the way of the Skywrath. And so yeah, he gets a very early boots right now, and that just helps his roaming potential so much more. Man, and if he gets this Arcane Rune, that would be great.
Hanskin's kind of leeching experience up here at the top lane now. They see him with the Observer Ward, but it's like he's turning it into an offlane. Because again, Jonas fan, sure enough, jungling. Going the boots first, that's odd to see like you're talking about, but at the same time, it does give him more movement in the jungle itself to go from camp to camp, so you can argue there. Beneficial, but it's actually killing.
I mean, yeah, you're still, like, Enigma the hero doesn't really matter. Your Eidolon's move speed is the main thing that matters. And so maybe he was just concerned about Kunkka or Crystal Maiden, like, roaming into this jungle, and then, like, he's kind of screwed if one of them finds him, if he doesn't have boots, because he's just so slow. But yeah, I'm still surprised. I mean, he's going to be getting just fine farm. He's hit level 3. He's out-leveling the Kunkka by a pretty healthy margin, and keeping pace with the Crystal Maiden, who's also been spending a lot of time in the jungle of her own, so it's fine going for the boots. It's safer, but kind of slows down your farm. Oh, and EGM does get that Arcane Rune, so he's just going to be going bananas on this Bat Rider.
Here, you got Bat Rider. See one another.
Oh, he misses the slow.
Take it, but back from here. Bit of pressure. Middle lane, though, they're smoked up. They want to go limp in the turret. Down. Freeze. Oh, not good off. Torrent. You know, Hawkin actually. Backlines coming in. EGM running in with that Arcane Rune, as we mentioned, spamming everything he has, and down goes Kunkka, actually. Now TA, he's trying to run. Nowhere fractions up. He's going to be run down, in fact. And Limp gets a double kill out of it. The Malfist also from Enigma assisting right there. Afterlife is here on Bat Rider, but only level 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Response from Alliance.
Yeah, Hanskin coming in to start that fight was critical. They definitely thought... there was really no reason for Vega Squadron to play that aggressive. Even if you do land the Torrent, TA doesn't have any points in Meld, and Ursa is a very, very tanky hero. Has a full poor man's shield and 7 armor, just without any tower armor or anything like that. So, yeah, they move quite aggressively. Obviously, you're not expecting that heavy of a rotation coming in from Alliance, but you saw the Skywrath harassing Bat Rider with that Arcane Rune. You'd think you'd play a little bit conservatively, but Vega Squadron get punished.
It's Enigma. He's going right into the hand of Midas. 1,300 gold saved up, so he's pretty good at rate. I mean, at this rate, he's what, like 7, 8 minutes at the most. He's going to have it, actually, so picks it up.
And wow, a Lifestealer manages to bring that tower into deny range. I'm surprised that the real you was pushing so aggressively. He didn't even have anything like a Blightstone, but this tower goes down super fast, 5 minutes in. And this isn't like a Terror Blade or, you know, Drow Ranger or any of those other typical, like, if you leave me alone, I'm gonna take your tower. It was a Lifestealer, and so a lot of space is consumed now. Sioma, Hanskin, fighting each other.
They are. But on top, it's Hanskin with that battery assault level 2. It does so much, he needs to put him back. Not in time. Hex marks the spot. Heck after the fact. Zemo, so refined by Hanskin, and 4-for-0 start in favor of Alliance here. As far as hero kills. But I mean, you're right. Lifestealer is, meanwhile, free farming, and as you stressed, already pushing that tower in. And denied. The fact dead is impressive nonetheless. Very early armor. You know, sometimes we'll see Lifestealers, maybe it's a player preference, but perhaps go to Arcane of Minus and Cage play. That armlet ready to fight. Kunkka again bound by Clockwork. Frustrating.
Now the real you wants something. He knows that cogs are down.
Oh.
Straight TP out. Torrent's not up.
Watch a Bat Rider now. He's trying to get away. And Slark actually, he missed the pounce. It was a very difficult one to land fair. Just over the ledge, a max distance. Does TP out in time, meanwhile. But now he's out and back to farm Galota.
Yeah, Loda's keeping pace. It's not too far behind. You have to keep in mind that Vega Squadron have a tower advantage already, and so that's why Lifestealer's net worth is looking pretty juicy right now. But, you know, Loda's been having to contest this Bat Rider, whereas Alliance have this Enigma basically getting free farm, working on the Midas, as you said, bought the recipe, outright, and basically has the Glove of Haste money in around like 20 more seconds. So yeah, Jonas and Fam's on a good pace. The question is that what do you go for as an Enigma after the Midas? Do you want to be more push/teamfight oriented in the fact that you want to sustain with like a Greaves or just, you know, the mech, or do you want to go aggressive with the Blink Dagger? And I don't really think that Jonas and Fam can get away with a Blink Dagger at this game, because you have to worry about Torrent, and Torrent is like massive range, and you're never going to be able to like dodge a Torrent if you go into Black Hole. Sioma will just be holding on to it, meanwhile mid lane, and then purges off the Frostbite.
He's going to force that enrage. Actually, we'll dodge the Torrent as a result because he went back in. X marks the spot, going to bring him back, but here comes out the point. He's not level 6 though, so no hook shot threat, and he'll be able to back it out. But yeah, that is kind of interesting because honestly, I'm looking at this Dire lineup, and it doesn't scream one that's like, oh my god, Enigma's not going to get any black holes off. It's not the greatest. Now, as you pointed out, Torrent, with range, it's definitely. Outside of that, there's not a lot to be worried about. In fact, both cores can't do anything. Well, actually, they're TA for that. So, I can see it going either way, but yeah, I mean, the idea that Guardian Greaves getting those arcane boots first, and eventually the Guardian Greaves ASAP. Potentially the route that they decide to go, if anything, with Ursa and the active threat that he's looking to have, perhaps don't need the blink also. Enigma, you could.
Yeah, the fact that Sioma is kind of like he's pretty far behind. He's only level 3. It seems like he's been doing a lot of work, but you need to also get experience while you're going from lane to lane. If Kunkka was getting lots of levels, then I would definitely be against the Blink Dagger because, like, yeah, Torrent is one thing, but then like you can just also just save the X and just cast X twice on Enigma while he's black holing and then instantly gone. And so Kunkka's never going to be deep into a fight, and obviously, you know, the Ghost Ship as well. These are all million range spells that you are going to be able to initiate with if you know, find a good opportunity, but you'll also be able to counter initiate if Enigma decides to go in on your team. And so, yeah, plus the way that Alliance are playing, like they're not playing aggressively at all. Yet the fact that they have the 4-kill advantage, it's just byproduct of Vega Squadron playing a little bit over aggressively, but Alliance has just been chilling in all of their lanes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Stark especially, he's just having a good time down here. He sees, again, blind pressure to the tower, but Bad Rider's here. But again, Bad Rider level 5, no lasso threat just yet, and even if he did, as we mentioned, Dark back, he's not really overall concerned about it. Go away here. He's getting a lot of farm item build up early on in this game. I mean, with Talon has the Ring of Basilius here, so the not looking to rush that Shadow Blade or whatever.
Nope.
Labs is going to be the first item they'll finish on Ursa, and it. Yeah, oh, he's changing. Okay, that's what it is. He's on the blink now next.
Someone needs to be a mid-game force, and seeing as how Slark is kind of not really, like you said, going straight into that Shadow Blade right off the bat, he's going for more mid or early game survivability and early game damage items. Same thing with Enigma, he's not really going aggressive yet. Hasn't really left his jungle, in fact, he's just been... Okay, I say that, now they smoke up. Hanskin has hookshot, so they might go for something. They think that TA is in the pit, and the smoke does not pop, so they confirm that she's not in the pit. Now you want to go on to the Lifestealer.
Or cut back here, go for Crystal Maiden. Pretty kill. They try to smoke out themselves, gonna run right into it. No, Kunkka doesn't, from a distance, he is exposed, so yeah, Crystal Maiden's gonna get picked off. The Cock's gonna block it out.
Enigma has Black Hole.
Ready. He can find a positioning for it. He knows that
can't do it.
They'll do a good job of staying out of range. Good pull back in, and down it goes. Enigma. Here comes Baron now. Team also here. Poured out from Hanskin. He is going to be fine, but Ursa's pulled up from the cliff. Hopsy in a rage. The Torrent's going to stop any TP attempt, though. And now Limp just basically has to accept death at this point. So great response from Vega Squadron. A 2-for-1. Losing the Crystal Maiden there.
Yeah, that's the problem with one of many problems that I've been citing for playing Enigma versus Kunkka. As soon as he gets the X on you, it's basically like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to cast your Black Hole for another 4 seconds. You just have to run around doing whatever, because he doesn't... Oh, Sioma gets Malefist.
Revenge.
Revenge. It's so sweet. Too bad you only get 179 gold. Yeah, so as soon as you cast the X, and, like, you know, there's nothing you can do about it, and so you need to just blink in and hope that Kunkka's not anywhere near the vicinity, otherwise Jonas and Pan's just never gonna get a black hole off. And he took it early, he took it, like, he didn't level up Midnight Pulse and all that business, he was just like, no, I'm gonna be needing this at some point, but hasn't found it.
Does have the arcane boots now. Gain a minus. The idea that Guardian Greaves has become a little more... It doesn't need to, I mean, could now go with the blink down. He's up here, but... It seems like you and I both kind of agree that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That blink ain't bad, buddy. Shadow Blade pickup on Slark is almost here. Basically, he has it. Yeah, actually, back to Enigma real quickly. That talent tree, you got level 10, it's whatever, movement speed. Magic resist, but the level 15 is where it gets really interesting because 120 gold per minute. Again, that's a lot of GPM there. Top of the hand of my eyes. But 15% cooldown reduction is also pretty damn good. A lot of things. So, the black. Especially...
I imagine that he's going to go for the GPM because he needs a lot of items. Now X on the clockwork near the Roche pit, they get the... Oh, yeah, that's a dead crystal maiden. If Kunkka, if Enigma really wants to be effective, like, he is going to need a handful of items supplementing his levels and all that damage that he can theoretically put out. Like, hell, he might even need, like, a Lincoln's just to deal with X, and then after that, if you have Lincoln's and BKB, then you're pretty safe from Kunkka. There's nothing you need to be concerned about, and that's probably more important than the idea of maybe going for more team fights, which is what cooldown reduction would give you, or more push, which is also what cooldown reduction would give you. Alliance want to be able to just take a fight and just wipe everyone out. You don't need to take these piecemeal fights. You can go for a black hole, and if you get it, then you need to win the rest of the fight. And if not, you're probably not going to be able to do very much in the next 2 minutes. What difference is 2.5 minutes going to make?
True. Lord Crest worked out for the team, prioritizing it here. Dalian picked up. Fan Limpy's waiting around for that 14-minute bounty ring. Gonna get that though, and always gonna look to finish that Vlad since he
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
bottles up the illusion. We're gonna go bottom lane, so they're gonna fight down here. Really, you trying to get out, but the hook shot will stop the TP. And now Life doing a lot of trouble. He'll infest the siege creep right here. Now you play the waiting. Hey, you know, Life Stealer's like, what's the point? Why wait?
Yeah, his team just wasn't ready. Matt Ryder does not have a TP, and they're taking care of business in the meantime. Sioma is, G is taking care of this Roche. Desolator's completed, and Lodo wants to challenge it. He has Shadow Blade. Holy, he's going crazy aggressive.
It's up, though. In comes the Ghost Ship. A lot of damage. Loda is going to be able to pounce away barely. Crystal Maiden Freezing Field doing work, but not enough to secure it. But he does stall Roshan, though, in a sense. Despite going pretty yellow right there.
And allows to get nearly half damage on this tier 2, and they're still stalling this Roche. G doesn't feel confident going back in yet. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger, and so going in plain sight of this Radiant Ward, and Flare actually goes somewhere else. I don't know where Clockwork... Oh, he flared mid-land. Huh. I guess they're gonna let this go now.
How about that, Loda? We saw it happen last time. He's going back in.
There's a sentry
He's
ward.
gonna try to steal it. No, it was picked up by G right there. G might fall right off the bat. He will. So they get the H burn at least. ASAP. Are they gonna commit to a fight against bottom lane? There's still 2 heroes down there. Enigma and the Ursa are actually both down there still. Hanskin, no, he's gonna cut. Nice ward onto 2. Hanskin will fall. Loda on the run. Just shots from a distance here.
Shadow Dance in 2 seconds.
Yes! No! Oh. I couldn't get it off. Shadow Blade also coming up barely, but good chase by Vega. But again, meanwhile, the bottom lane, what are they? Enigma, they both have TPs. Insisting on pushing this tier 2 down.
I get it. G may be able to... The problem is he can't go by himself, otherwise he's definitely going to need a Black Hold. And he has no follow-up, so Jonas and Fan and Limp actually get out and didn't have to participate in that fight. They may have been able to get a little bit more, or they may have been able to save their Slark and their Clockwork if they did show up at the fight, but just the fact that you were able to burn off the Aegis right off the bat is good enough for Alliance. That if you lost the Slark, that sucks, but at least TA is not going to be rolling around with an Aegis for the next 5 minutes.
Solar Crest can be finished by pickups coming up once again for the side of Alliance. EA though, Blink Dagger. Get it from the side drop over here. Bat Rider with an Infest Bomb. Ready to go. They're gonna smoke up even. Oda?
Good. Be real good.
More close enough. It's not Shadow Dance. Not enough. Behind him on Limp. He says, that was my friend, damn it! Bat Rider's gonna get killed. Ghost Ship coming through. The rage is popped from Limp though, and we'll end up being into a 1-for-1.
Shock has Hook. He has Blade Mail and Hook.
You get the chance on Crystal Maiden. You though, sitting nearby. Limp's gonna be brought back for it. Up in the air. Has some supporting cats. In fact, Lifestealer's the one that's now falling. Lifestealer's gonna go down. The Ancient Seal. Hopefully do work. TA though picks him off, and now he's gonna take on Ursa. as well. We got mid-wars action, baby. Jonathan Fan's still looking for a black hole opportunity. Again, he just can't. That was pretty chaotic back and forth. Well, even with Life Stealer going down, I think Vega Squad. Scale.
Well, the problem is that Ursa and Slark both died, and so they ended up only getting 1 core for the price of 2 cores. If the TA was also killed, which I'm not sure where Jonas and Finn was during that fight, like, because Solar Crest wasn't able to be used on anyone, and Templar Assassin was just able to pick off Skywrath without any fear of retribution because there was no black hole threat. And also, as a result, Kunkka was just able to spam X persistently on the Ursa. I saw him stay next to this tier 1 for like a good 15 seconds, despite definitely moving, but it was like on a treadmill pretty much, and so yeah, he did not really get to move around, and that's because Kunkka had no one better to X. Now he'll X up Jonas and Fan, and awkward, nice.
Nice response to the backline. Actually avoids a torrent as a result of Jonathan Fan. And it gets pulled back in, but it doesn't look like the boat hit on it. It's still running again. Has Black Hole gonna be allowed to right back in.
Oh my god, the X is gonna break it.
The X brings it right back over here. He's just being pulled every which way, but Vega Squadron, they will get a couple of kills out of this. So yeah, just not really here as a team as Alliance, and Vega Squadron definitely
is under attack.
With that, this TA, man, their network.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yep. That's why the hero was so feared in Kiev, but Hanskin tried to sacrifice his life to save the Enigma. He went in for the hookshot to make sure that the X return into Torrent combo wouldn't hit, but, you know, Enigma's still gonna have to come back eventually. It may not connect with the Torrent, but it'll come back into the hands of the Lifestealer and the TA, and you're seeing how irritating X can be for all of Alliance's heroes, and there's nothing they can really do about it, so, I mean, Loda might find Afterlife. TP immediately. Oh, if only that flare came like a second earlier, but yeah, they get out, and these failed picks are just going to keep on happening unless, okay, so Alliance are going for a smoke now, don't really have any vision on any enemy hero, so this is a blind smoke.
Way with that smoke, but again, Jonas Fan, it's almost like in hindsight, you kind of wish that he had that Blink Dagger now, because he could have maybe had a couple of opportunities. And I'm not saying you need to hit Black.
Split fight.
Wow, great catch right there. Silence into the Mystic Flip. That's where you see the potential of a support. Skywrath Mage. Don't let that support title fool you. Get damage. Good pick on a Lifestealer, and transition into a top lane push unit.
No, definitely. Ideally, you can get the Templar Assassin, but Lifestealer is a great consolation prize if you had to get one, and so that's the power of Alliance's initiation, assuming that they get to initiate on their terms, which, you know, despite it being blind, they still seize the opportunity and go in very quickly, and even then, you saw Kunkka reacting. As soon as Lifestealer went down, they all got torrented inside those cogs, and so, you know, it's a very delicate balance for Alliance to be able to go in, but also be able to get out.
A lane of interest right there, but they will spread out. Mag's being worked on by Ursa, by the way, and that's a interesting pickup here.
Yeah, he needs it. These lassos are going to be a problem moving forward. Slark can deal with it, but not so much the Ursa. And same thing, like, he's not going to be able to purge off the X, but he's going to be able to, you know, have a much shorter cooldown on his Enrage, so if he does get X-torrented, he can just, you know, sustain quite a bit of the damage, and once the Torrent connects, he can also purge off the lift of the Torrent / pseudo-stun. So I can definitely understand why Limp is going for it, but problem is someone on Alliance needs to be dealing damage, and Loda, he's getting pretty good farm, but he's still way behind the TA, because Gia's just been farming. Now mid lane, Sioma.
Some heroes here, yeah. He's not by himself, though. Doesn't fool you. Players coming out there with him, so he gets the top off there, really good resistance. Up on the side, T is looking for an opportunity. Well, last one, Enigma. They catch him, can they drop him fast enough? He gets a stun. Maybe a black hole. Midnight Pulse puts it down. He wants it, but he'll go down. As TA are able to run away for the time being, and it seems like she should be able to make her way out of there. Numbers, though, does favor Alliance, but again, they lost Enigma for 2 support.
I don't know why Enigma didn't use his mech.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and he had the mana. Loda spots out Afterlife and definitely kill him. Oh, he waits on the pounce.
And now actually Lotus in trouble. Get out at least. Porting cast over here is gonna make their way out TP. So you're right though. That's kind of key. I mean, he was doing a lot right there at the very end, but not.
Yeah, because the reason he couldn't go for the black hole is because he would have been stuck in Firefly, and so yeah, you'd be able to get the black hole onto the TA for maybe like 1 second, but then you were going to die to the Firefly. But with Mechanism, he would have been able to survive for much longer and probably been able to channel the full black hole. But, oh, he dies again.
Yeah, watching that happen, I mean, this Enigma pick, it's really kind of proving not to be all effective. And like I said earlier, you don't need to be landing big black holes constantly, but the fact that he hasn't even casted with 3.5 minutes is just...
Radiant's bottom tower
push
has fallen.
further in this bottom lane here. Yasha, yeah, Lifestealer himself also went kind of an interesting build and nails him into the Yasha here.
Yeah, it's true. It's, I guess he wanted some wave clear for Eidolons, assuming that Alliance were trying to push, but yeah, Alliance have not been pushing. Now, Ursa going in, hookshot connects.
That's the Lifestealer, the Armored Toggle not going to be enough right there, so great execution there from Alliance. Back up, and it goes up in 1. They could possibly go for more
Ursa
now.
has Blink. Nice X.
They use this ghost ship, got some shots. Steel coming out right there, the Arcane Bolt, Skywrath really trying to keep them both nearby.
So he almost still has Shadow Amulet. Oh, nice try.
Always under you the whole time, drilling holes in you.
And it is cooldown reduction taken by Enigma.
Really?
He has a lot of activatable items too to bear, so a lot of things that are being reduced.
Assuming he chooses to use them. I'm just messing with you, Jonas fan. Yeah, I can't say it'll be worth it until Alliance actually start either fighting or pushing. They need to do one or the other. Otherwise, really, you're just boosting your Midas cooldown, which is, you know, it's great and all, but I'm pretty sure 120 GPM still beats it.
Roshan just responded right there. Right as Crystal was checking it out, so on the timing, but...
Oh, Loda's going in on a bomb on the bot lane. He doesn't know this. Out comes Lifestealer.
Yeah,
out comes Lifestealer.
Yeah, he'll get a Lifestealer now popped out, but obviously damage is done, and Loda will avoid what the waiting was.
Yeah, because if Lifestealer had come out earlier, then I feel like Loda would have gone into Shadow Dance much sooner. But, I don't know, they were hoping that the lasso would connect, and then Lifestealer would get out, but Loda was on the aggressive, and there was no chance of the Lifestealer, I mean, there was no chance of the lasso not getting Dark Pacted off, and so they give up that valuable kill, and now Alliance are going to take a Roche.
So I'm not going to take the risk, and Ags is now finished on Ursa as well. You mentioned it's against the lasso effect that's going to be created. In general, going to be a very useful tool. 18-second cooldown.
Yeah, he's going to be abusing that, definitely. Even TA is going to lose some effectiveness because, you know, she's very burst-oriented, but if it's being mitigated by an Ursa, then Ursa will gladly take the fight, as opposed to just running away if you're being melded and desolated. But with this very low cooldown, Alliance are in a good shape to start fighting. They have the Aegis. They have pretty... Slark completes the Lincolns. They have, yeah, pretty much all the resources necessary. And they smoke up underneath a trap.
Whoops.
So that is a bit of a problem. It's a smart trap. I actually don't see that trap very often, but that's a brilliant trap because that spot will almost never be sentried.
Place there because they definitely saw this, and you see the positioning as a result. So I kind of went for Alliance. Is like, wait, look at that scan too. It's like perfect.
Yeah. So even Lifestealer gets out scot-free, and now they might go for a retaliatory smoke, but yeah, you're going to be going into an Aegis, so it's probably wise for Vega Squadron to just play it cool for right now. And Afterlife also has a gem, so they're going to use this opportunity where they know all 5 heroes definitely went to the same spot together and get rid of some valuable vision that Alliance had on the north side of the map.
Jonas fan, he's tired of not getting off black holes. He is going to queue up that BKB at least. He finishes the Guardian.
Okay, and
next.
Yeah, and since Slark completed that Lincolns, he can actually put the Lincolns onto Enigma, so that'll definitely make life a lot easier for Jonas and Fan.
Radiant's
Because
top
between
tower
BKB
is
and Lincolns, then you're guaranteed. But you
Over
need
here,
both.
Silent. It's caught initially. Low though. Can't finish the job. Didn't know. Has another pounce coming up, and he should be able to.
Yeah, CM accepts her fate. She knows that might as well not. Oh, what a hook!
TA gets caught. That's big. This is a huge goal.
She can blink, though. Yep.
With the blink, and
She has Pike,
will
she has
survive.
BKB.
Unless Limp has a blink. Go for it. But even the BK. Okay, well, we'll take that.
10-second BKB? You'll definitely take that.
There, so she's very evasive with all her abilities and obviously the items, but second BKB. Go else for now. Ursa is almost. I don't. Well, he's getting there. The basher.
For my chest.
On pretty nicely for him too.
Yeah, it's hot off the tails of that scepter completion, so Ursa is definitely performing very well. G, it's still holding the crown, but you know, if he has to spend BKBs unsatisfyingly like that, then the net worth advantage doesn't really show. And Alliance still have plenty of time left on this Aegis. They've got another 2 minutes left, so ideally they use it to siege, but Vega Squadron are creating pressure, so they may have to defend instead.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Case hiding nearby with that shadow amulet.
I'm surprised that he went for this Shadow Amulet. I mean, he's completing it into a Glimmer Cape, I thought. He had a cloak queued up, but I don't see anything on the courier. But I don't know, I feel like Aether Lens may have been a little bit more effective because we're seeing how useful these X's are. And yeah, they may lose a little bit of efficacy, seeing as how Slark has completed that Lincoln's, and you know, Limp Scepter ult kind of helps against X, but not really, because it'll still complete even if you enrage. But yeah, he's going for, I guess, like a suit. Oh, okay, no, he does finish the Glimmer Cape. Okay, so I can agree with that. I just was hoping he wouldn't go Shadow Blade, which is what his cosmetic would lead me to believe. But yeah.
All right. Despite that. Bottom lane, what's this down here? Just get that hand of Midas herself, but Ghost Scepter queued up. Most utility as far as support goes.
Not really sure why Alliance are pushing this bot lane. They already took the tier 2. You either push the top or the mid, because you still have Aegis, and I don't think you can take high ground right now.
Yeah, they seem to look unsure. They are going to smoke up right here, and I guess they just really want to go for the base. Feel confident that they can go high ground.
I hope Silent uses Freezing Field on this creep wave.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Is he going to? Yes! I love it. Okay, the problem is now your high ground's getting sieged. And Hookshot connects onto the Lifestealer. Bash!
Big star, kill him off the bat. He would not have a buyback. He's going to infest at the last second. He'll survive for the time being. Right there, getting in fight. Meanwhile, Lasso on the clockwork. Brings in, not the prime target, but the target's on the left. They'll take it. And actually, the gem does drop, so pretty good one at that when you consider that. This has been reclaimed. The hold is successful. A little bit of tier 3 damage.
Okay. Yeah, getting the gem is like the main thing. So wait, who did they put it on? They put on, wait, that right already has one. They get on the courier? Oh yeah, okay, it's just lying on the ground. Yeah, so that gem pickup is actually really valuable. Even though it was, yes, just a clockwork, being able to get rid of that gem off of Alliance is a big deal, because they've just never been able to find any initiation with this Enigma. Like, yeah, that situation was kind of difficult, because Hookshot was very deep. Jonas and Pham, as mentioned earlier, does not have a Blink Dagger, completed the Greaves and is now working on a BKB, but, you know, you're losing your advantage. They weren't even able to do anything with that Aegis successfully on Loda. Ideally, it was Loda that would get picked by the Templar Assassin by going in deep, but Big Squadron appropriately focused their resources on the guaranteed target, fight back that tier 3 push, and now Alliance don't really have a good way to push these tier 2s and tier 3s, which I would have thought that the Aegis was the best opening, but instead they wanted to go for high ground.
Clark right there just got his silver. Congratulations. Get that. Agorist good against that. Especially that Ice Stealer here. Breaking and has his own BKB now queued up, so we're going to start seeing a couple of those. Obviously, you have Ursa and Aegis with the Axe, similar effect, so it's going to be a very difficult team to lock down. That's up here. Vega Squadron already lacking a fair amount. Beginning, so team fight's difficult, but yeah, Enigma still 32.5 minutes. No, good point was brought up in chat. You won't have any crappy black holes if you.
True, true. You gotta put the finger to your temple and just say, can't miss a black hole if you never cast it.
There you go. You know what's coming. Whether or not it's going to be a game-winning one or meh one. Loda?
Finds Sioma. Doesn't have detection though, and so Sioma can just go into Glimmer Kit.
He wants life though. He's going to try to get Crystal as she ports out, but yeah, he can't stop any of the TP.
Oh wow,
so.
Sioma. Okay.
TP wakes you.
Yeah, I think unfortunately Hanskin's hookshot connected onto neutrals, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah, they were going for Lifestealer for sure.
If they could have gotten the Lifestealer, that would have been pretty significant. Especially because now G is pushing top tier 2, and Loda doesn't have a TP, EGM doesn't have a TP, Clockwork doesn't have a TP, Enigma doesn't have a TP, Ursa has a TP, but he's just one hero.
Scary one. TA is also
True.
pretty scary though, level 25. Again, Bloodthorn is almost actually.
Yeah, and Bloodthorn is going to be really valuable this game. Ursa is, of course, able to enrage off stuns, but you need to be able to cast spells to do that, and if you're silenced, you cannot enrage Scepter or otherwise when you're stuck with the Bloodthorn, so this is going to be a very, very important pickup for G. And especially because Ursa does not have a BKB yet. He's working on it, and he will need it, because then you can BKB and then enrage, but if you're stunned and silenced, then you're screwed.
Escapes right as they're looking to. For the short kiss. These TA pick up the Wizardry right in front of her. Gets
wow.
the BKB. Man, G is not afraid to just use this BKB.
Yeah, that is a skittish Templar Assassin.
8 seconds with both of them again really just doing nothing, essentially. Minor victories that they'll take. It's overall a very even game, and I know it doesn't say at the top, guys. I'm not sure why.
I just realized that myself as well, because I was about to be like, well, it's an elimination game. You gotta use your BKBs like that, and I was like, wait, is it an elimination game? But yes,
no,
Alliance is 1-0.
It is a 1-0 lead for Alliance. Usually we could just say, look at the top, guys. Anyways, up 1-0 here in 2. Out here. Playoff stage.
Oh, fine, Skyrath.
Lotus like, I want to save you, but you're being.
Oh, and another fortuitous Roche spawn for Vega Squadron. It's gonna go down fast.
Enigma just got his BKB. Let's go. That's a chance.
This is the chance. Flare's gonna get vision, but one's too far away. Cheese and Aegis.
Immortality.
Lifestealer Aegis on TA.
Radiant structures
Spread out here.
are fortified.
Lifestealer went for a Diffusal Blade, which I find interesting.
Not a very unique build.
Because Slark can Dark Pact it off. Ursa can in fact enrage or BKB, as Limp does now have BKB completed. Really the only thing it helps against is Clockwork, and I guess killing off Skyrath, but I mean, do you really need help killing off Skyrath? So I'm surprised he goes for this Diffusal Blade.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. A little odd. And again, especially with the idea
Dire's
that
top tower is under attack.
strength-based, he is a strength-based hero, so it's just.
Yeah. I mean, the idea. Oh wow, gee, what a player. Real slick.
Bot helps.
Yep. I guess the idea is that he had to go for this Manta style. Oh, that was not the return. He had to go for this Manta style to get rid of the Skyrath silence, and so he was like, well, if I have Manta style, might as well get some mana burn on top of it as well. And so, yeah, if he finds a target, it definitely helps him out in terms of the mana burn and, you know, a little bit of bonus damage with the illusions, which you needed the illusions regardless. I mean, you could have gone BKB as a lifestealer and just bypassed all of that, but, I don't know, he finds more value in the Manta style, so be it. The only thing is that, I don't know, it's a peculiar build, but TA is dealing enough damage for the two of them. As we can see, there's This whole zero threat push takes down the tier 3, and what's Enigma gonna do?
That's such a strong card.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting.
Seen some fun tactics used with X marks spot throughout this one. It's just one of the more simple ones. I mean, core, in this case the TA, is just so heavily farmed, and now there's really nothing that they can do.
Yeah, the only threat is if Skywrath gets a Yules, but Skywrath is a long ways away from getting anything. So there is really nothing right now that Alliance can do against that, and TA is going to find a double damage rune, so if that's not a recipe for a set of racks, then I don't know what would be. Is Aegis, Pike, X plays, G is very well protected.
That's actually a really good point about the Yields, because that has, I mean, they're already starting to see it now a little bit, and that's going to be something that clearly Vega Squadron's going to look to abuse, as mentioned. A Yields on the Clockwork even, who's now even going to Heaven's Halberd.
Boom, there it goes.
That's true.
But figuring the good at Yields could be beneficial. I was even going to say anything, he just got his Blink Dagger now. So it's just it. It's just the moment. They want to stop. They're going to do some damage. Doing his pullback now.
Whoa.
The best bomb. They catch an Enigma. Actually, that's the prime target. And he would not have a buyback, but it's not enough to kill him. Is he going to go for the Black Hole? He gets it off right here. He locks on TA. That is the big target that they want. Can they take him out in the end? The cheese out popped by Lifestealer, but TA's going to survive. Still with the Aegis. Okay, finally we'll go down. But the Aegis is popped. Clockwork, he's down for 40 seconds and staying at Lifestealer. He's taking a good chunk of life right here. He has to be a little bit careful. He's going in, and he's going to fall, actually. Very ambitious time from Lifestealer. I guess he figured he was dead anyways at that point, but now Limp, he wants to chase. I think get close enough is the question. That Rage is so good to go. Second, though, Malphus comes out from Enigma. Pulls put down. But now G jumps back into
no Ghost Scepter.
However, their factions are up, but now he's going to be careful as Loda's in his face. But Loda, he's the one that needs to be careful. He's going to be brought back, actually. Puts up in the air by the torrent. And Loda goes down on Slark. No buyback, actually, for 85 seconds or so. Now Ursa's limping away. He would not have a buyback himself.
I see what you did there.
He'll live though.
Range racks go down, and Vega Squadron went in much harder than they needed to. They basically took half the range racks with just G, and then they were like, well, okay, let's go for a fight anyway. Ghost Ship is going to provide a little bit of sustainability, but right now backdoor protection is enabled, and Slark is dead for 60 seconds with no buyback. So ideally they're going to try to force out buyback, but Slark does not have it, so it doesn't matter, and they're just going to go back to the... oh, hook shot.
Team support is really on point here for Vega Squadron. In fact, they are going to do anything they can, but they really commit this. It looks like they want to, and is it enough? But BJB is popped, and TA now has to be careful. Again, if he dies, he would be for sure dead. There's time for him to get the buyback. Aegis, they're going to lock down Clockwork, though. Connects. That's going to slowly walking away.
Oh man, he wants to go for a big side blade. Oh, Yoda's a fan!
This is not stopping right here. He's going to be pulled back in again. But again, why would Vega Squadron stop, I guess? They just can keep abusing it.
Yeah, now Lifestealer's going to be back in the mix. Take off that melee racks. Nothing you can do.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Finally got what they came for, and now they're going to retreat. So, oof. Insane fight across the board. Again, Black Hole, they got the one target you definitely like, but they were kind of busy with Lifestealer in the meantime, and position was kind of funky. Vega Squadron just, you know, overall played it very well and really took advantage of that X marks the spot ability.
Yeah, I guess the thing that Vega was most concerned about is like, okay, we've shown this strategy like a good, you know, 5 runs. It's possible that Alliance may try to get behind us, and then we're really screwed, because then TA is going to be deep inside the enemy base, whereas if Alliance go in through their jungle and flank the rest of Vega Squadron, then they're definitely going to lose a fight. So they decide to see they have an opportunity, and they'll just seize it. And the Black Hole does come out correctly onto G, but he had Aegis, so even if they did focus their resources on to the Templar Assassin, it would have only done so much.
Alliance was pushing a little bit right there, but in the end, they decided not to go too far with it. Being out, they want to get some bigger and better items. A Pistol Blade, nice pickup for Ursa. Again, both Ursa and Slark, they constantly would beat on to TA as he's winning with those that refraction, but especially with the +3 charges, he bulky enough to sustain, pretty much taking no damage every single time that X marks the spot was used. So, I know I was talking about the idea of the Yules before that, and you had mentioned it. They really could use that, man. As we move on, the Lifestealer bomb, they're going to get Stalker. He has a lot of support nearby, but they're kind of be forced to no fight if anything. Loda going in with the Shadow Dance. Too aggressive though, now he's in a bad spot himself. Off he bounces out. Enigma still waiting for a black hole. He's looking for it. He's gonna get one off right here. Puts him in that pulse down. He loses his teammate in the Skywrath. But Loda's putting in the auto attack. He's gonna be able to take a life stealer at least. But G, with their refraction, still pretty bulky. Where's Ursa during all this? He's meanwhile dealing with Batrider. He will get the kill, but his teammates are dying. Loda is gonna get picked off as he gets dove on. And now Limp has to be careful himself. It's a 3 versus 1 right here. Enigma comes back in. Take his way back to the base. Sarky staying dead for another 90 seconds again.
Yeah, and they still have the integral part of this combo, except the TA. Start dealing damage to this tier 3. I mean, hell, it's not even really necessary right now, it's just the Ursa. But lasts for 8 seconds, basically finishes off the tower, and they're actually gonna back off. Maybe scared of handskin, counter initiation, but they still deal a fair amount of damage, and G just gets larger and larger. His score doesn't really reflect it. He's 6-1 and 7, but like, it's that one death that's the most important thing. G has been going, like, he's been through 2 black holes and a lot of attention on the Slark, but comes out on top every time.
Back to the top lane now again. She's been level 25 also for so long, and top of this game, the Satanic now follows suit, but the Abyssal Blade on Limp, it's soon to come as well, and that's definitely going to be the key item. And Slark, meanwhile, Zone Basher, because of these back-to-back deaths here. In fact, Enigma has overtaken as the top farm on the team, and he is building a refresher, so I'll have the ability to get a couple of black holes off now. Finally, it took a while to actually get some initial black holes, but they've actually been pretty decent here.
OG.
Black hole, 30 seconds, pull it out. Now putting the attack on the line, doing plenty of damage with that.
Enrage.
Enrage, he got caught by the lasso after the fact, still mitigating a little bit, but that's gonna wear off, and down goes Ursa, down goes Skywrath, a freezing sun of his Hanskin. He's on the run again. Loda going back in, pops the Shadow Dance, but he's by himself now in the midst of all 5 of them. I don't know what the game plan is here, but well, it's gonna work out. Hook shot, trying to save the day, if anything. Afterlife still chasing, but Clockwork, of course, will let him falling, but
nice pounce block.
Continues to go. Yeah, the pounce block has to keep him nearby. Another dark back doesn't matter. And Enigma with a black hole, he thought about it, but what's gonna happen? He said, screw it, I gotta make a play right here. Ursa did buy back, by the way. And Lifestealer made a fall into this. Here comes the Lamp, but he couldn't get there fast enough. We already played to get closer. He gets a fast rock off the map, but the Hurricane back on the ledge will survive life until it goes back in here on the toggle. And Ursa's gonna fall with a dieback. That could be the beginning of the end here for Vega Squadron. GG well played. We're going to a 3rd and final game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this time Vega Squadron didn't give up. They didn't have as confident of a lead the entire game as they did in game 1, but this time they were able to get initiation, and that was the issue in game 1, that they were never really able to find it. In this game, I mean, hell, they didn't even need to use it. They could have just let that siege engine TA go ham. Eventually